Hi everybody, this is Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery, and today is, I guess, maybe kind of a day. I have all of these journals, and I sat down a couple of days ago and I made a list in my planner about all of the journals that I kind of have that I would like to kind of try and complete, maybe. So I'm going to go through them with you for Flip Through Friday. So this is a flip through of many journals, and I'm going to get away with this because a lot of these are not really finished. And so I just kind of want to look at the whole thing. This is entertainment for you, but this is also me sitting down and trying to think about what the heck I'm doing. So let's get started. Flip Through Friday is hosted by Gwen the Trash Witch. Thank you so much for hosting. I have not been on for weeks and weeks and weeks because I got super busy doing something kind of unexpected in October because I thought I could do a daily challenge and not have it get super out of control. And I don't know why I thought that, because look at all these journals that I have that I have not finished. All these works in progress. They're beautiful, aren't they? Let's go through them. I can't do that, and I should know that about myself. So if I ever say to you I'm going to do this, I'm going to be simple and easy, remind me that that is not how I do things, and I should plan a little bit better for the fact that I know it's going to turn into I always get these ideas for these big huge projects, and that's one of the things that I really love about like daily challenges is it really pushes me to finish things. Accountability, yes. So this little tiny guy, see, look how small this is, the Maximal mini journal. And the idea behind this was I found that I was doing everything very super minimalistically, maybe, I don't know. And I just kind of wanted to see if I could do things that were like super over the top, and just pushing a little bit more. And I haven't done a lot in this journal, and I started out doing a lot. And then, of course, it got to be like a lot. I'll show you what I mean. So I made the cover, and that was fine. And I made this out of a little tiny box that I had. And it was just a cute little size. And I think that some like papers and some ephemera actually came in this box. And it was a cute little box. Not much of anything, but I really just like the size, and I thought, wouldn't that be cool to make a journal? And so it's actually in here, and it's this size, and it's covered with cardstock and fabric, and these wooden buttons, and some threads, and some die cuts, and these beautiful, I beaded outside, and it's got lace, and yeah, and just some fabric strips, and it's got some crackle paste on here. So really good start for just kind of going a little bit over the top. And I haven't done the front page, but there's this beautiful lace on the inside of here, and it's kind of shabby chic. I made rolling pages. I made 120 feet of rolling pages, just gluing like book page together for 120 feet, and then I cut it all up to make these pages. So it's got beautiful pages, and I am working from the front to the last. And what I wanted to do was pick a quote for every page in here, and I left kind of the front page blank. And I wanted to pick a quote and just do a page based on the quote, so I would have a book of quotes. That was easy enough, right? I have a list, I have a document of just quote ideas. And this one is by William Wordsworth, and it's "Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart," which I thought was a beautiful quote to start this, and just a pretty page. Starts out pretty good, and then this is Edmund Burke, and never, no never did nature say one thing and wisdom another, and that is like kind of an abrupt change, right, from this very pastel page to this very natural color. But I love this owl. Loved making this page. And I think making this page, I didn't really know what to do, even though, I mean, it's put a quote on and then decorate the page. And this has like a little journaling card that goes in here. But it took me a long time, longer than I thought it was going to. And I kind of learned to slow down and be patient. And I wanted that to kind of lead into the next quote because I figured that that was a good thing. This is just really cool. I don't remember now why exactly I was having so many problems with this, but yeah. I remember it took a long time. And then I did this Eddie Hilsom page, and this turned into, I did the watercolors of the mountain lupine on a day, and this has like these tags. This is a very labor intensive page, and it was very emotional for me for whatever reason, and I can write a little bit in here. But Eddie Hilsom, and I didn't know who she was, and I found this quote because it says, sometimes the most important thing in a whole day is the rest we take between two deep breaths. And I found the quote and I decided I wanted to do that. But I started looking into Eddie's life, and then I was just like so touched that this became like a whole other video just about Eddie Hilsom and putting the page together, really. But it was really just kind of like sharing a little bit about her life because she's pretty remarkable. And then I kind of, because this became such an emotional journey, I think stepped away from this because I just wasn't prepared to go on. I think there's like 52 pages in here. That seems like a weird number. 48. 48 sounds like a much more reasonable kind of a number for signatures. So I think there's like 48 two-page spreads in here. So I have a ways to go. So there's that. And I would like to get back to this, but I'm not really sure how to go about it at this point. So pick a quote and go with it. The idea is pick a quote, pick a focal point, make a page. Should be easy. So that is a formula that should work. I just maybe need to schedule some time to do another one. I think these pages pretty. I love this whole little book. So pretty. Okay, very rich, very cool. I love this. Maybe I could make a thing where I try and do one of these a week, and then it would be done by the end of next year. I should make some notes. Do I have a pen? I hope so. Maybe I should write this in my other book. Hold on. I like that. I like the idea of having one quote every week. Or, I mean, I could go every month, but then that's going to be like a 4-year journal, right? Every other week. Okay. Let's do one quote every other week. That should be a doable thing. And I like the idea of, like, if you pick a quote and then you can kind of let it sit with you for a little while and work on this slowly. Because I think that's what the owl taught us, right? Is to kind of like let things come in their own time, but maybe, don't completely forget about schedules and things. Okay. So that is the Maximal Mini Journal. Which one do you guys want to do next? Let's do this one. This one's kind of a book that I started, and I love these journals. So these journals are Treasure Book's easiest journal ever. And let's see, two very different things here. This is a modern collage journal, and I'm just going to be honest, I was making this because I felt like a lot of stuff is very vintage in the junk journal world, and I wanted to do something that was kind of really more for people who don't do vintage and want to do something very modern. And honestly, this is kind of, I look at junk journals on Reddit a lot, our junk journals, and everybody there who posts in there does like true junk journals, and they're very modern, and they do a lot of packaging and stuff. And so I was kind of trying to do something. That's what I had in my mind when I started this. And so this is just a piece of artwork that I did a long time ago, and it's in here as a pocket, but I haven't put anything in here. This book is made out of copy paper that I had, and so all the pages in here kind of are getting covered up slowly, and I've done pretty much, not entirely, but pretty much everything in here I've done on my channel. And I used to try and post this on Saturdays, and I haven't been working on it because I kind of pick it up and come back to it. And these are like magazine collage, and this is just some like, I'm not sure if that's a jelly print. I kind of think like it's not, that that's just where I painted onto a piece of dictionary page. But anyway, this is kind of cool. That's like a fold out thing, but it's also a pocket. You can put notes in there. So that's kind of a cool thing. And I just do a lot of, I started out doing a lot of like magazine type collage. I added this in there. I don't like it. But again, you could journal on here or add more pictures. That'd be kind of fun. And this is just using stickers on some, I was jelly printing with some stencils, and I did that. Cool colors. And this is again kind of the same idea, using stickers on a magazine and then adding some details. And then this was just stuff, this is garbage that I found under my bathroom sink when I was cleaning it out. Fun. I added the fuchsia, and it really just changed this whole page for me. Like I said, I got this off of our Reddit, our junk journals, where they post a lot of stuff like this. Although, I mean, that looks like it needs some more stuff. Anyway, this is some marker. It got wet. Anyway, this is just some marker flowers that I did, and kind of the same idea. And this one I jump around in a lot. This I don't like. It's just a mark making kind of a thing, and this is again out of a magazine or a travel brochure. So anyway, I can work in this occasionally. I think this is, I like this. This was something I did. I don't know. I need to come back to this and figure out when I'm really working in this. I guess it's my modern collage, and I haven't been doing any modern collage, but I like to. And this is just magazine, and then adding some like flowers and stuff. I don't think I posted this on my channel either. This I did. It's a page. And then this I made just a whole bunch of background pages and kind of glued them in here, and I started filling them out with some different things. This became a whole thing where I decided to do all these doodles with this magazine collage. What is that? Is it a bug or is it a seed? Okay. And that, and this is just a lot of different colors and sparkles. And this is kind of like, I mean, just a fun thing to do. This is just a relaxing and fun journal of sticking stuff in. This is probably a good place to come and do stuff when I don't really feel like, when I want to go back to doing something basic, but like the cat page. Love that. And so there's just random things, and a lot of the rest of this is probably just backgrounds or not backgrounds. So I should probably just set aside a time every week to, I can probably find a time every week to just do something in here. And that's probably the way to go. I've got paint on the back up here. I'm going to paint over some black over the top of that. This is a really pretty journal. I really love this style of journal. So much so that I made this journal. And this is my other journal that so that journal, I think I'm just going to work on it. I'll pick a day and a time and I'm just going to work on it, and I'm going to glue stuff in it and see what happens, because that's pretty laid back. Or it could be a thing that I could like pick up when I'm like really, that's easy. That's an easy thing. I can just make a pile of stuff and glue it in there. And then this is my diary journal that I write in, but I also glue things in here off of my desk and I decorate it. I call it my visual journal. Some people call it like a commonplace journal. I have not put a cover on this because I just made it and I was super excited to start it, and then I didn't know what to do. So I will eventually put a cover on this, and I think the time has come that this needs a cover. So I'm just going to write that down. And I mean, I love this. This basically writes itself because I will go through here and put in quotes as I go along. And I do just kind of jump around and do different things in here. And I write in here and I write about the quotes that I've put in here. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might tuck some things behind this and make this a pocket. So I haven't glued it down. This is actually like put in here as a page. But I keep adding pockets and things off of my desk that kind of just, I have extras. I have these gratitude leaves that I made from stamps. It's a very, I love this so much. And then there's just all these things that I tuck in. I can write on this paper and I can just tuck it in there and decorate it. And this all came from like some Happy Mail. This was in there. I think I'm going to get a piece of washi tape and put it right there so it can kind of live there. This is where we go camping a lot. And this is a pocket, and I've stuck some just extra paper in there for now. Quotes that I was thinking about using in the Maximal Mini Journal. And I put them in here so I would see them again and again. I try and work in here every day, and I've started to do more artwork in here. And as I've started to do more artwork, and there's just this tag, oh, I did this, very pretty. But this is just kind of a place to collect things that I like. And again, I'm doing some artwork in here. These are some jelly prints. Sometimes I do the artisan journal prompt or the bonus prompt with that, and I put those in here usually. It's just kind of a journal for me. This is unicorn glitter. Oh, I should keep going. I don't think there's as much in the other journals. So this is one that I'm actually actively working in, and using it to do a lot of different prompts. But as I'm going and doing prompts, I maybe want to put those in a separate book. Maybe. We can talk about that when we get to some of these other art journals that I'm not really using, but I would like to. Because this is the thing. What is this journal and how does it differ from this rest of this pile? Okay. And maybe I shouldn't worry about this so much. I love this. I want to finish this. And these are some paper beads I made, and so I made dangles that hang on here. And I mean, that's about it. But this is just kind of a personal journal for me. It's beautiful. I love it. It's wonderful. This is kind of my go-to. This is where I really like to reach for. And it's kind of an art journal, but also a writing journal, scrapbook. all kinds of things. And I like adding just these things. I have this belly band on this music page. I just made this because I had extra things on my desk, and I just made this to put in here so I can come back and write on it, and I don't have to put these things away. I can have a place to live. Just sketches that I did as I was trying to work on another project, and that's really kind of what I like using this for, is this catch-all. If there's something like a sketch or something that I did that I'm not going to use in another journal, I can put it in here. It kind of becomes a record of like the steps along the way, in a visual kind of a way instead of a written kind of a way. Let's go into these two. These are books that I made as art journals that I was going to use. This one was specifically for a class that I signed up for and then never did. That needs to be glued back down. It's got a pocket in the front. I did the first thing, and it was like a year-long class, and then I just didn't do anything. I got busy doing other things. So I have this, and I have the first one, and that was several years ago, but I would like to move some of, like, I think if I'm doing prompts for, like, I was saying the artisan journal prompt or weekly prompts, I could probably just use this, and then I don't have to put it in my other book, because I really start things very impromptu sometimes without thinking about it. And then so I have that, and I want to use it because it's just a really nice book, and I made it, and I'd like to put some artwork in it. And this is kind of the same thing, only this is a much bigger book. I made this, I think, after I made this one. I'm not sure. I guess it doesn't really matter. They were around the same time, and it was about 5 years ago, honestly, I think. And I don't think I've signed anything. And this one, I've done a little bit more. I was doing some online art class with a friend of mine, and so I started this, and there's a lot of collages and things at the beginning, but I think I get really carried away, and there's a lot of pages in this book, and a lot of them are empty. I don't think I've even made it, I've made it kind of through the first signature. Okay, that's good. But beyond that, there's a few other things in here. And this is just like 12 by 12 cardstock that I've cut down to like 9 by 12. So this is 9 by 6 book. It's a beautiful book again. And there's a few things in here like this. So this would be another option for me to just kind of remember that I have it when I'm doing prompts, and kind of start to fill this in, because I would like to really finish this. This, I didn't know, I must have just put this in here because this is the other half of, is in the other book. So, that's cool. Just a few more things randomly tucked in. I don't even know what's in here. That's why I'm doing this, is because, quite frankly, I don't know what's in this book. But I do love it. So, anyway, I have this and I have the other one, and I can just put things in here. And do you ever accidentally do a page upside down? That's what happened there. Oh, there's a couple of them. I actually drew this hand. That is amazing to me. Okay. So that's that. So these two, I should remember that I have art and art journal 1 and 2, and I will play around in those. And then these are very specific things. And I don't know. Maybe I should go ahead and, this is a class, again, I was taking with a friend. Both of these are from classes that I took. And this one I didn't really finish, and this one we finished the class. We didn't finish the class. I don't know what happened. Everybody got busy and we just stopped going. It was an online thing we were doing together. And this was like it's called the Dream Arc. And I didn't really, my friend wanted to take it. I didn't really get into it, but it's about, I'm not really sure what it's about. Honestly, that was kind of the problem. This is a 12 by 12 page folded in half. So this is 12 by 6. So it's really long. It's a cool journal. And it's all focused on finding an animal guide, but they have the animals all split up into different groups. And I was having a really hard time figuring out what we were doing. Anyway, so I was just picking an animal. I was picking, there's, for the Dream Arc, there's the overworld, so birds, and I think birds are definitely in it. I can't remember. Again, this was quite a while ago. And I don't think I made super good notes, but maybe I did. And the lamb, I can't remember what I was doing. I know that there was like the sky was like, and then there's like things that are bound on the ground. And then there's things in the underworld. These are like insects and I think fish and things that are in the water. Okay. Anyway, and I don't even know if that's right. So I have this, and I never really kind of understood, and I was trying to sort it all out. I think this was kind of a representation of the different parts. But this class was not a class exactly in the sense that it was really led. It was kind of like find your own meaning in all this information that we've put in here, was what it seemed like to me. So I was struggling really hard to make sense of all this. And this is maybe why we didn't finish this. It just seemed like a lot of work. This was one of the realms, was vision. And I had done this. So I was going to keep track of all of these animals. And I was going to put them all here. And then do a page about them. And the spider's kind of like over everything. And there's one animal that is representative of each group. And what is it? That's in one of her. It's in here. Anyway, it's very confusing. It was very confusing. It was not super straightforward. Like I said, it was kind of find your own meaning. And I was working on it, and then we quit. So I picked a raven, and I did some artwork around the raven. And I did the raven here. And this is, I don't know which one that is supposed to be. It's supposed to be something, and I have a tag here. It's a cool idea for a thing. And then I had the salamander, and I had the squid, and I don't think I did... I think I did the salamander and the squid, and these animals all have specific properties if you want to read about them. There's the salamander, isn't it cool? But I was like doing a lot of cool artwork. That is true. And did I write extensive notes? Oh, good, I did. This is the life key. And this is things that live in the ocean, maybe. Don't hold me to that. How cool is that? That's kind of fun. Whatever's going on there. Who's that? Goose? I think this is geese. Look at how pretty this is. Can you see this? Oh my gosh. Okay. I do like this. I thought about finishing it. I can't really do it on camera. Here, this is where I was writing about the life key, and the camel is the animal that represents the life key. Okay. And this guy did something too that was kind of crazy about DNA. I have a science background, and his understanding of DNA and what it does is kind of different than mine. Just a little bit. Maybe I think too much. Maybe I'm overthinking this. This is life and resilience. There's this guy, the camel, the goose, the whale, the toad. I guess I could go in and fill these all in and then work on filling in the rest of the pages. Anyway, beautiful book. Really, truly a beautiful book. In the whole scheme of things, I just love it. And the work that I did in it was really nice. So, and I just kind of, like, you can pick an animal and then kind of find myths and things around it. Okay. Unifier. Oh, all of the animals have, like, they're all grouped underneath this. That has part of it. I have, like, notes for this. This is the mantis. This is fear and ritual, and these are the things under the ground, but I also have the swan and the nightjar in here, so I'm not really sure because I thought that it was like each realm was kind of... Anyway, I don't remember. That's the whole point. There's the nightjar. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, I put this. These are the notes. Okay, great. I don't know. I'll think about what I want to do with this because I am super loving this book and it would be fun to really finish it. And it's fun to play with the animals and write about their legends and why they're important and to learn about them. And I like the idea of having these different realms and what they can teach you. Maybe I will look into trying to understand, kind of make my own understanding out of this. You can look into this class, look it up if you want to, but I don't necessarily really recommend it too much. It was very expensive also. So I will say that about it. So anyway, that's the dream arc. It was fun to look at again. I'll have to, I don't know if I want to really get into that again, but I kind of do. I think it could just be an animal thing, and I can... That's a big project kind of a thing. This also a big project, and this is a class that I did, and sorry, this is a really long video. I love this, and this is my major arcana of the tarot book, and I think it's about 30% done. Okay, so the idea is we did another class where we worked like my friend and another friend, and this was all, we meet online every week, and we were taking this class, and we all paid for the class. And again, it's kind of a little bit of an expensive class, but it was a really good class. And just kind of like finding your own story in the major arcana, right? And so this is just where I wrote what I was doing, and we were comparing it to the hero's journey, which is really kind of a cool thing. So like the Fool is like the novice and coming at things with like just packing up your knapsack and going. So I said this is like the Seeker. This is grabbing a project and going for it without knowing that, you know, you're going to have to struggle through all these things. So I did an original piece of artwork for some, but not all of these. And that's kind of what I need to finish, is doing these. And I think that if I remember correctly, I kind of settled eventually into a thing where I had, but this is where I can write notes about this and include these. And here I will include more notes, like here. Here I've done, this is the magician, I have the artwork, that's fine. I can add more notes, I can add just pictures and things of that nature. I could add like actually cards and things in here. Thought I had pockets or something going on here, but I'll eventually have lots of space to write about, you know, the magician. This is where I put this in here for the high priestess, and I think that something similar to this is kind of where I settled for doing artwork for these. And then this, I think, is a pocket. It looks like a pocket where I can slide things in there. But there's a lot of work to go in here, depending on what I want to do. This, again, I've left as a pocket with some stationery and some things to do some writing. And this is the Empress. She's a wise owl. She looks over nature. Love that page. This will be more about the Empress. Whatever I want to do, right? This is the Emperor. I like the Emperor. I've found lots of ways to do these things. Let's see how far I have. I have some of these, and then I think the Lovers is the first one I don't have. So I kind of skipped around a little bit and did some of these. This is the Hierophant for room. This is for the Lovers goes here. And I have a pocket. This flips up. And the cool thing about this class was I kind of have this understanding of like everything that's happened so far. It represents like the first 4 cards are like your heavenly parents, and then your like earthly parents, and then your teacher, and then the Hierophant would be the teacher, and then you get to the Lovers and you choose a passion, let's call it that. And this is the Chariot, and I used Artemis, the archer, for the Chariot. And you go on this bumpy ride, and then you get to Justice, is it? Must be Justice. But she'll teach you the laws for governing your passions, hopefully. That's my understanding. This is the Hermit. Love the Hermit. I love Justice too. Isn't that? Okay. Awesome. This is the Wheel. And I put a lot of time into understanding the Wheel. The Wheel of Fortune. And then Strength. And then whoever comes next, which I think is the Hanged Man. And I love to hang out with the Hanged Man in my life, but don't really want to see him. And this is Death. Apparently I really like Death. So there you have that. And then this would be who? Temperance goes between Death and the Devil. And I have a lot of like writing and reflecting on these things to do, which I should have done while I was taking the class, right? That's the Tower. The Star? One would think as much as I like the Star. The Moon. have most of these, right? The sun. What's all this? See, I like have some writing. I was getting into this. I was doing some of the work while I was going along. Anyway, I should finish this. Judgment. I don't think I like Judgment. And the World. And again, I mean, this could be such a beautiful book if it all looked like this and this was all sketched in. And I would like to finish this. And I just don't know right now when I would possibly have time. And a few things in there, and I have some papers over there that are already backgrounds, and I just need to finish those few things. And this is a huge book, and those are the things that I have that I would like to at some point complete, or sooner or later complete. So I'm going to make a plan and work on maybe one of these two at a time and try and get them done. But I don't know, maybe the tarot is kind of like a thing I could work into my week and just work on it a little bit for the rest of my life, kind of a thing. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Okay. I'm not sure how these fit in right now, so there they are. They're beautiful and fun. And I can maybe just remember, and like if I get something, get so inspired, just kind of pick it up and go with it. And this one maybe could just become an animal thing. I have a lot of resources for this one. Anyway, already set aside. These two, I think I can remember that I have them and just grab them and use them for, I think I know what to do with those. This I already use. This I have a plan. I'm going to do a page in here every 2 weeks. This I'll try and do every week. Okay. Well, we've looked at these. Thank you for coming by my channel today. It was really great. I hope you enjoyed making a little bit of a plan and doing a journal flip through. Check out the hashtag Flip Through Friday. Give some love to Gwen. Go visit her channel. She is absolutely fantastic. And see what everybody else is sharing today, because it's Friday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, or wherever you are in your week. And I will see you next time. Hit the like button, subscribe. It helps everybody out. And thank you so much. Bye.